Hey everyone, what's going on? I made a couple of videos here in regards to the fake death of XXXTentacion, and in the second video I mentioned how I saw that they had came out with the name of the supposed murderer, and when I found out more information I would make a video. So that's what I'm making right now. And what I talked about in these other videos is gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases. And our mainstream media is always coded with this system, and so is our sports leagues, our whole history. You know, everything is coded with this system, and this story is absolutely no different. They released a song called Ghostbusters just after he dies, and it was the song with Trippy Red, and in gematria, Trippy Red equals 173, just like XXXTentacion. 173. You know what Ghostbusters equals? Ghostbusters, 173, which is the 40th prime number, and the word Valentine's equals 40. And he released his album called 17, 173 days before Valentine's Day, where we got the Stoneman Douglas shooting that he wrote the song called Hope as a tribute for, right? And there was 17 people killed, 17 people injured, all kinds of 17 stuff with it. Joaquin Oliver being buried on the 17th of February in a Dwayne Wade jersey, and Dwayne Wade born on the 17th day of the year, and much, much more. You can watch the previous videos. But they're saying it's this guy right here, Dedrick Williams, I believe his name was. Dedrick Williams, a 22-year-old suspect. And, right away when I see 22, 22 is the 22nd prime number is 79. And you know what the word murder equals? Murder equals 79. Murder also equals 83 in gematria, and 38's another big number. The word death equals 38, and he died in the BMW, and 38's this humongous number around rappers and whatnot. Nigga, I think rapper equals 38, so on. So just wanted to point out the word murder, 8379. He's 22 years old. His name equals 253, Dedrick Williams, which is the 22nd triangular number, but I don't want to lose you. The 22-year-old, his name equals the 22nd triangular number. Murder 70 died, 83. He was born on the 83rd day of the year. Can you believe that? I can, because it's a made-up story, and it's probably not even, the guy's not even really dead. Murder 83, 70 died. This guy born on 3/23 of 96, a leap year, born on the 83rd day of the year. And him and XXX are born 8 weeks and 3 days apart, right? He's the guy who murdered him. They're born 8 weeks and 3 days apart. Their birthdays are that apart. It was 1 year or whatever. But also, the story goes on to say that they found him on Facebook going under the name Chucky Williams. Chucky Williams equals 83. Also 169, and this murder happened on the 169th day of the year. He was arrested on 20/6. That's how they write the date in most parts of the world. June 20th. The word sacrifice equals 206. And remember, everything about it was like, if I might get sacrificed, right? He was going to get sacrificed by Drake. And then he died 4 months and 6 days before Drake's birthday. And then Drake is releasing the album called Scorpion that equals 46, and the word sacrifice, the small way, equals 46. But notice this guy arrested 4 months and 6 days after Valentine's Day. Just stupid. Born on the 83rd day of the year, the word murder 83. Some other stuff that's interesting about this story is some stuff that's been going on just this whole year. Is XXX's mom is named Cleopatra, which, that sticks out. He has the tattoo on his chest too that says Cleopatra. But when we had the Austin bombing stuff, that was that was in connection to Mark Anthony, because the guy who did it was Mark Anthony Condit, or supposedly, but Mark Anthony in history was born in 83 BC, and he was married to Cleopatra. So I know there's something significant about that, what they're doing with the theming. But Cleopatra equals 152, just like Dedrick Williams, and just like Deerfield Beach, Florida, where this shooting supposedly happened. And you go watch the video footage when she finds out that Dedrick Williams was the murderer. She doesn't even care, They're like in this big crowd and she's not even sad. They're like smiling. It's just a joke. Like, I don't even get how people can think that this guy really died. There's so many things that don't make sense in the story. Just bogus video footage and wearing different clothes, and I mean, come on. Something else that's interesting is that Cleopatra's the mother of Caesarion, who was the last pharaoh of Egypt, and he died at the age of 17. And Cleopatra was Cleopatra the seventh, and the seventh prime number is 17. And the word God equals 17. The word El equals 17. Ra, the sun god, equals 17. El is Saturn, right? The bull god. So, very interesting. Especially when you're thinking about Valentine's Day and how it syncs up. And, XXXTentacion here. Talked about this before. Spelled it wrong. Tint. Oh, there we go. His name equals 151. Just like Valentine's Day. 151. Just like Jesus Christ. Right? 151. And, there's something very significant. He died 146 days after his birthday. Just like Jesus Christ. But also notice his name equals 61 and the reverse reduced. 61. The word God in Jewish gematria equals 61. Jesus equals 61. Cross equals 61. Church equals 61. The word bull equals 61. Talk about Saturn, the bull god. The word Christian equals 61. Super duper important number. So hopefully you get the point of what I'm getting there. Cleopatra's son was the last pharaoh of Egypt, and he has all the connections to God and the sun god and Saturn. What else is interesting is a bunch of people are talking about how he really faked his death because for album sales to release for this new album that he is supposedly going to put out called No Pulse. And, it's interesting for people to think that, but the reason that all of this stuff is being popularized, No Pulse, is because it's really connected to Valentine's Day and the Pulse nightclub shooting. Remember, the Pulse nightclub shooting happened on 6/12, and it was 612 days before the Stoneman Douglas shooting, both in the same vicinity of Florida. 6/12, 612 days later, we get the Stoneman Douglas shooting on Valentine's. The word Valentine equals 612. And the Stoneman Douglas shooting, it lasted 6 minutes, and he shot up Building 12. A lot like 6 and 12 yet again. No pulse in gematria equals 612. And he does have a song called No Pulse, but No Pulse, 612. And think about it, the Pulse nightclub shooting on 6/12, 612 days before Stoneman Douglas, that he synced up to. Orlando Strong equals 612. Police equals 612. The police play a big part in how these hoaxes go down. So Columbine High School equals 612. There's also another school shooting called the Dublin Massacre that equals 612. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas died in Minneapolis, where Super Bowl 52 was played, where the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and then just after the Eagles win, we get the Stoneman Douglas Eagles shooting. But Minneapolis is the 612 area code. And the last time that the Eagles played the Patriots before the Super Bowl was on December 6th of 2015, which in most parts of the world, they read the date 6/12, right? And if you write out 612, it equals 213, just like death in satanic gematria. So And remember, Tupac released his final album before he died on 2/13, and he died 213 days later. So, it's all by the numbers. It always is. There's always these themes and scripts, and then it's by the numbers along with these themes. Absolutely, it's just stupid. And after you apply this for yourself, you'll start seeing it every single day. You'll see how you're being lied to in the mainstream media. You'll see how our history is scripted this way. I mean, and that's why they do stuff like this. Cleopatra. That's why the Austin bomber was all about Mark Anthony. So we'll leave it at that. I just wanted to make a quick video, show you how this supposed killer was born on the 83rd day of the year, and murder equals 83, and he's 22, and the 22nd prime is 79, and the word murder also equals 79, and he supposedly committed this murder. In regards to Jesus and all that as well, XXX, X is the 24th letter, and it breaks down to 6, right? 2 plus 4 is 6. It's a lot like a 666. And his real name, whatever it is, something Onfroy, his real full name equals 216. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. So, lots of interesting stuff, Real quick thing, in Gematria, God equals 55 and 10 as well. And the word Satan in the other way equals 55 and 10. So, all synced up by the numbers. Anyway, apply this to other mainstream media stories so you understand how these stories are, they're being used to manipulate your mind. And that's what they do. That's why they do all these fake camera angles and whatever else. And then they know that people are going to eat it up. Some people are going to just be arguing over all of these things from the video footage nonstop. But if you look at the Gematria, you can see like the backstory of why they do this, why there's, fake video footage and whatnot. It's all just to create division and whatnot. So if you learn Gematria, you'll see even more of the truth, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at, of, what is going on in this world. And I have a lot to learn myself. So have a good one. Peace, though.